Some rappers are just not what you think. The fact is, before they became the famous people you admire today, they weren't handed a golden microphone that easily. It's more like they found one in a scrapyard and polished it until it shined. Today we're gonna talk about rappers born broke versus rappers born rich. The ugly but wonderful world of your favorite rappers, as well as where they came from. And by that, I don't mean their hometown or anything like that. Well, maybe a little bit, but we'll talk about that later. So now, starting with the first category. These are the people who took the phrase, started from the bottom, and turned it into a multi-platinum selling reality. Rappers born broke. Number 1, Eminem. First up is the rap god himself, who grew up in a trailer park in Detroit. Believe it or not, there was a time when Marshall Mathers, aka Eminem, was just another kid eating mom's spaghetti, literally and figuratively. Born in the bleak streets, his childhood wasn't exactly the stuff of fairy tales. If you imagine a kid getting bullied in school, living in a trailer park, and facing more family drama than a season finale of a soap opera, yup, that was Eminem. Fast forward to today, Eminem is a force to be reckoned with in the rap world. He's got more awards than he probably knows what to do with, including 15 Grammy Awards. His influence is everywhere, from the countless rappers who cite him as an inspiration to the fans who still lose their minds at his concerts. Now, you might be thinking, how did this broke kid from Detroit become the Eminem? Well, it wasn't exactly a walk in the park. He got his big break when Dr. Dre, the legendary producer, took him under his wing. With Dre's support, Eminem dropped the Slim Shady LP, and the rest, as they say, is history. Eminem's music is like a roller coaster ride through his psyche, complete with all the bends, turns, and regular vomit-inducing moments. His lyrics are brutally honest, often hilarious, and sometimes downright offensive. He raps about his struggles, his dysfunctional family, and his battles with fame and addiction. Number 2, Jay-Z. I bet not many know Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z, wasn't exactly born with a silver spoon in his mouth. Let's forget about the pushing and incessant life of crime. This is one guy that didn't just beat the odds, he obliterated them. Raised in the Marcy Projects of Brooklyn, New York, Jay-Z's early life was the kind of gritty urban struggle that makes for great rap lyrics and even better comeback stories. The young Jay-Z moved through the mean streets of Brooklyn, where opportunity was scarcer than a snowflake in July. How did a kid from the Marcy Projects become Jay-Z? Well, it took a few demo tapes, a lot of persistence, and a little bit of defying the laws of probability. His debut album, Reasonable Doubt, didn't just put him on the map, it redrew the map around him. From there, it was a steady climb to the top, with each album solidifying his status as hip-hop royalty. Today, Jay-Z isn't just a rapper. He's a cultural icon, a mogul, and Beyoncé's other half, which, let's face it, is a full-time job in itself. Like Eminem, Jay's won more awards than most people can count, including 24 Grammy Awards. Number 3, Kendrick Lamar. Now let's take a trip to the West Coast and talk about Kendrick Lamar, the lyrical genius who rose from the rough and tumble streets of Compton, California. If you think growing up in Compton is a cakewalk, you've probably never been to Compton. But that's where Kendrick's story of turning adversity into artistry begins. Compton, Kendrick's early stomping grounds, was a neighborhood where the soundtrack is sirens, and the neighborhood itself is kinda like a Grand Theft Auto server. Yeah, that kind of situation. That was K-Dot's childhood, a mix of dodging trouble and finding comfort in music. Car thefts, running from the cops, scaling fences, and toppling over trash cans in people's backyards. These are kinda too interesting to give up just for mere loudspeakers and microphones, don't you think? So, where were we? Oh yeah, Kendrick's rise to fame. After catching the attention of Dr. Dre, a man who apparently has a knack for spotting rap underdogs like Eminem, Kendrick released his debut album, A Good Kid, Mad City. This masterpiece wasn't just an album, it was a cinematic journey through the streets of Compton, complete with all the drama, danger, and introspection you could ask for. Today, Kendrick is more than just a rapper. He's a cultural phenomenon. With a Pulitzer Prize for his album Damn, he's achieved a level of critical acclaim that most artists can only dream of. He's won 13 Grammy Awards and has been hailed as one of the greatest lyricists of all time. And yet, despite all the accolades, Kendrick remains remarkably humble because nothing says "I'm on top of the world" like continuing to wear your heart on your sleeve. Number 4. Cardi B. It's pretty stunning to learn the shaking, a trash-talking Queen Bee herself came from the Bronx to Bodak Yellow. Let's talk about Cardi B, the queen of no filter, who clawed her way out of the Bronx with nothing but sheer determination and a killer personality. Cardi B, born Bercalis Marlenis Almanzar, grew up in the high-energy, low-income streets of the Bronx, New York. She worked as a cashier and then as a stripper to make ends meet, and let's just say, she wasn't exactly living the high life. It's almost laughable how far she's come. From the clubs of the Bronx to the top of the Billboard charts, Cardi B's story is the ultimate rags to riches fairy tale, but with a lot more. Today, Cardi B is a Grammy-winning artist, a social media sensation, and a pop culture icon. She's got hit albums, a fashion line, and more endorsements than you can shake a stick at. And she does it all with her signature unfiltered charm. Cardi's music is a no-holds-barred reflection of her life and personality. Her lyrics are bold, brash, and bodacious, much like the woman herself. She burst onto the scene with Bodak Yellow, a track that became an anthem for anyone who ever felt underestimated. Number 5. J. Cole. Next up, there's J. Cole, the rapper who proves you can go from a trailer park in North Carolina to the top of the hip-hop world with a little bit of talent and a lot of perseverance. Jermaine Lamar Cole grew up in a trailer park in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Word on the street says young Cole had dreams bigger than his surroundings, finding solace in music and books while going through a life that wasn't exactly a walk in the park. Today, J. Cole is one of the most respected names in hip-hop. With multiple platinum albums, a thriving record label, and a reputation for authenticity, he's carved out a niche as the genre's philosopher king. J. Cole's music is thoughtful, reflective, and deeply real. His lyrics often tackle themes of poverty, ambition, and social justice, all delivered with a smooth flow and a keen intellect. He's the kind of rapper who makes you think while you nod your head. Like the rest of the guys we've talked about so far, it's more authentic to sing about street life when you've actually witnessed it firsthand. Number 6. Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne, the rap legend who emerged from the Holly Grove neighborhood of New Orleans with a liking for the dramatic and a talent that's out of this world. And when I say out of this world, I really mean that literally. Dwayne Michael Carter Jr., known to the world as Lil Wayne, grew up in the rough and tumble streets of Holly Grove, New Orleans. Young Wayne grew up in a neighborhood where danger was as common as Mardi Gras beads. But he didn't stop dreaming big, despite the odds stacked sky high against his average size. Today, Lil Wayne is not just a rapper, he's a phenomenon. With countless awards, including 5 Grammy Awards, and a discography that includes some of the most influential mixtapes and albums in hip-hop history, he's solidified his status as a living legend. Lil Wayne makes music with a whirlwind of witty wordplay, clever metaphors, and relentless energy. He burst onto the scene as a member of the Hot Boys before launching a solo career that would redefine the rap game. Rappers born rich, a different kind of hustle. Now let's switch gears and talk about the other side of the rap spectrum, those who were born with a silver spoon, or should we say a platinum microphone in their mouths. Here we find the likes of Drake, Jaden Smith, and other artists who didn't exactly have to climb out of the gutter to make it to the top. Number 7. Drake. It's not surprising that Aubrey Graham, aka Drake, is the first name in this category. He grew up in the affluent Forest Hill neighborhood of Toronto and attended a private Jewish day school, later becoming a teen actor on Degrassi: The Next Generation. The biggest challenge he faced was probably memorizing lines and dealing with teenage acne. It's almost hilarious how far he's come. From the comfort of an affluent Toronto neighborhood to the heights of music stardom, Drake's journey is less about overcoming the odds and more about maximizing the opportunities. But hey, he's turned his cushy start into a career that's anything but ordinary. Drake's music is like a well-crafted cocktail. smooth, sentimental, and sophisticated. He's got a knack for blending rap and R&B, creating tracks that are as catchy as they are introspective. His lyrics often delve into his emotions, relationships, and the complexities of fame, delivered with a voice that's as smooth as his upbringing. Number 8. Jaden Smith. Jaden Smith, son of Hollywood's Will and Jada Pinkett Smith, grew up in a world where the red carpet was practically his playground. He was born into a life where he would not worry about where his next meal would come from, but rather which designer suit to wear to the Oscars. His biggest struggle was probably deciding between acting or rapping as his career path. Today, Jaden Smith is an artistic enigma, known for his music, acting, and fashion. He's released several albums that have garnered critical acclaim, and he's become a voice for his generation, advocating for environmental issues and social change. He's got the freedom to explore his creative whims, thanks to a foundation built on Hollywood gold. Jaden's music is as eclectic and experimental as his fashion sense. He's not afraid to push boundaries, blending genres and exploring themes that range from existential musings to social justice. His lyrics are a mix of introspection and innovation, wrapped in a delivery that's as eccentric as his public persona. But while people like Eminem, Jay-Z, Kendrick, Cardi, J. Cole, and Lil Wayne all clawed their way out of tough, often dangerous environments, rappers who have had it pretty easy while starting out are quite the opposite. This is even suggestive of the type of music they make. For the broke group, the struggle was real, dodging street violence, poverty, and societal neglect. For Drake and Jaden, and the rest we've yet to cover in this video, the struggle was more about managing expectations and carving out their own identities in the shadow of comfort and fame. Number 9. Lil Romeo. Continuing our discussion of rap royalty born into wealth, let's now bring up Lil Romeo and others. These artists had a head start in life, but it's true they still had to find their own paths in the music industry. Romeo Miller, better known as Lil Romeo, grew up in the lap of hip-hop luxury. As the son of rapper and businessman Master P, Romeo's childhood was far from the gritty streets that many other rappers experienced. Lil Romeo burst onto the scene as a child prodigy, with a style that was young, fresh, and fun. His early hits like My Baby catapulted him to fame, making him a teen sensation. His music often reflected his youthful exuberance and the relatively carefree life he led. Number 10. Diggy Simmons. Daniel Dwayne Simmons III, or just Diggy Simmons, was born into hip-hop royalty as the son of Joseph, Reverend Simmons of Run DMC. Growing up, Diggy had a front-row seat to the music industry's inner workings, attending red carpet events and mingling with legends. That's how he managed to break free into the character that most people knew him for. It's almost poetic how he's carved out his own niche. From the privileged upbringing as the son of a hip-hop legend to becoming a modern rap star and fashion icon, Diggy's music is smooth, slick, and stylish, much like the artist himself. He first gained attention with his mixtapes, and soon proved that he had the talent to stand on his own. His debut album, Unexpected Arrival, showcased his lyrical skills and likeness for catchy beats. Today, Diggy Simmons is a multi-talented entertainer, balancing his music career with acting and fashion. He's starred in TV shows and movies, and he's made a name for himself in the fashion world. Number 11. Quincy Brown. Quincy Brown, simply known as Quincy, was born into the entertainment world as the son of R&B singer Al B. Sure and stepson of music mogul Diddy. His childhood was a mix of R&B and hip-hop influences, with a lifestyle that included both glitz and glamour. Quincy's tracks often feature slick production and a cool laid-back vibe. He's not just riding on his famous lineage, he's crafting his own. It's almost poetic how he's carved out his own niche. From the privileged upbringing as the son of a hip-hop legend to becoming a modern rap star and fashion icon, Diggy's journey is proof of talent and ambition and identity in the music world. Number 12. Reginae Carter. Reginae Carter, the daughter of rap icon Lil Wayne, grew up surrounded by the glitz and glamour of the music industry. Reginae's music is fresh, fierce, and fun, much like her personality. She first gained attention with her girl group OMG Girls and later pursued a solo career. Her tracks often reflect her vibrant lifestyle and the upbeat energy she brings to everything she does. Unlike her father's raw, gritty lyrics about overcoming hardships, Regine's songs are more about empowerment and enjoying life. Today, Regine is more than just a musician, a social media maven, influencer, and entrepreneur. She's built a significant following on platforms like Instagram, where she shares her fashion, lifestyle, and music. She's also ventured into acting and business, proving that she's not just riding her dad's coattails, but carving her own path. The music of the Rags to Riches crew is often raw, reflective, and rooted in personal hardship. In contrast, Drake's and Jaden's tracks, while still introspective, often carry a different kind of polish, speaking about their relatively comfortable upbringings and the unique pressures of their worlds. When you stack rappers born rich against rappers born broke, the contrasts are striking and almost humorous. The music of the Rags to Riches crew is often raw, reflective, and rooted in personal hardship. In contrast, Drake's and Jaden's tracks, while still introspective, often carry a different kind of polish, showing their relatively comfortable upbringings and the unique pressures of their worlds. While Lil Wayne's lyrics are peppered with tales of struggle, survival, and street smarts, his daughter Regine's music can't quite capture that same raw experience. It's hard to rap about hardships you've never faced, making it a unique challenge for rappers born rich to connect with audiences on that level. It's almost impossible for artists like Regine to rap convincingly about hardships they haven't experienced firsthand. However, this doesn't diminish their talent or potential. Instead, it shows a different kind of challenge, proving themselves in an industry that often values authenticity and struggle. So, what's your opinion on today's video? Kindly let me know via the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See ya!